Yeah, I finally get to practice, man. Sometimes I have to turn it all the way up and then turn it down a little bit. We'll do it again. We'll go back to the beginning because I don't know. I remember how it goes. Live, find love. Why should we find love? I'm so made. Why be afraid? Let's close our eyes and make our own paradise. Oh, still we can try to make a go of it. Let's fall in love. Why should we fall in love? I so fine. Let's take good chance. Why be afraid of it? Let's close our eyes and make our paradise. Love is still, we can try to make it go there. What's neat is that, one of our first coins here in America before God, in God we trust, it said, mind your business. It said, mind your business. Mind your business. By Ben Franklin. And do you know that the Indians were written into the Constitution as a sovereign nation? And that the Articles of Confederation gave us, was written in the early documents. When we're talking about Virginia, they were talking to our country. It was a country, the state. But this is my first out of I don't know. I could make it one, but it would be giant because I don't really know where I'm going to go. This is to you, Charles. We're going to start here because I owe, but the gesture job is interesting. Charles, Elizabeth, Mom, her Praetorian Guard that has been established there for a long time. Let me tell you, Elizabeth the First would have kicked your ass, and what a fear is for our children to not get an education. I know you haven't obviously got the education, but you're smart, and as your gesture, well, I'm not your gesture, but I lost contact because the Praetorian Guard that's guarding that place under your mother, when I let her know through media, and I was looking for receipts, but I've been blocked and erased and hard drives gone since before MySpace, over and over. And I just went and looked for the email, and I was going to bring it out, as well as Benedict. We'll get that in a minute. And but when I told her that it's your job to not sell the rights to Britannica, Encyclopedia Britannica, as her gesture, I got you, baby. But I'm going to help you if you'll let me. The gesture's gone. She kicked me out because of her guard. She didn't know, but I was letting them know, and they'd let me go. When you sell the rights to Encyclopedia Britannica to the Vatican, I'm going to tell you, Elizabeth I would have kicked your ass. So, or it was not be good about that, but they didn't let that get to her to think about it. And your mom, Her Majesty, she's gone, but I'm letting you know too. We're going to get that out of the way, and because I'm going to do this first. And this will probably be like last in my last of videos, because this is the last. I'm probably going to have to make it 3 parts. So we'll just say this is part 1. But I'm going to let you know. I respect you though. This is called Jules. You know this. So we're going to get this out of the way. And I know on the other side, I know, because this is great too. And if you know, you know. But this side right here, listen. Elizabeth I told this lady, no king, but not this lady, but Elizabeth. So we're going to go ahead and get that out of the way because I respect the position. I won't get into much more. And then as far as we're getting on to where do I need to go from here? I guess I'll go from here. And go straight to Benedict. And I'll let you know on the other spectrum that I'm calling you out to, because we'll go ahead and get the deeps out of the way. Pope Benedict as well. I'll let him know that, and you need to know that according to their own documents, that Linus was the first bishop of Rome. Linus, first bishop of Rome, and according to the Apostolic Constitution, Linus was blessed by Paul, not Peter. So I'm so trad cat that even you, Mr. Williamson, I love you. I like to listen to you, and you shadow ban me, but even the most trad cats don't like. So I'm just going to call myself Protestant, because I broke away a long time ago for whatever reason. But even Calvin, we'll go ahead and go there here. Let's do this now. Since it's like it's kind of spread that way. Well, my name is, let's get, so as far as getting the gesture job, that's my pretty insurance lady. Yeah. So my name. We go on the record. I'm letting you know what's going on. I'm in the bunker for 6 weeks. But that's my picture. And it's, visas and other stuff didn't come out of that. This is an enterprise card that I use a lot. It's been used with a lot of numbers. And upon we could probably go to present stuff now. These are cards I pass out. And if I have to. But I was born with that. I can't help it. And I learned a lot along the way. Since we went to the Queen, Mother dear, bless her heart, Elizabeth I, you know that sovereign nations, Articles of Confederation did not be upheld for the people, for these Federalist guys. Because, or here's one, Servetus, the called The Hunted Heretic. This one I like right here. I'm just going to jump to some libertine documents and correspondence between that. That was a good one. So we're going to go to the Hellfire Club, guys, and show you that Thomas Paine was one of the best thinkers. Conclusion-wise, it's much like Velikovsky and some others. Great thinkers. We don't have to agree with the conclusions, but this guy right here, the king hated him. The Pope hated him, as well as Calvin. And I know I went through a phase of liking a lot of people, and I've probably said some things and have some things online that's wrong, but this guy right here, Cromwell hated, Calvin hated. And let me tell you, the libertines, don't let them fool you, because they were cast out of communion. The libertines, listen, Marquis de Sade still gets pulled from public auction. I know there's erratic stuff in there, but there's other stuff in there. Do you know that the libertine attorneys You say, yeah, we're crazy. They helped and wanted to go to communion. And it was, they couldn't even go to Rome because it was infiltrated by the cabal, and they couldn't go to the breakaways. But yeah, they still wanted communion. They still considered themselves. And they stood up as attorneys because they were learned. Do you see the subjects in this? From geography to and because they didn't fall in line with the king nor the pope. And it was a great document. Nothing fancy. But Marquis de Sade and the Libertines, upon fighting and their fathers fighting with the dukes and things, they were the lawyers that stood up for Servetus on trial. And he was burned at the stake. So the popes hated him, the kings hated him, and certainly Calvin. And it was a Cromwell that invited under that era that helped the usury to get in. So that's just the way it is. Contents. I don't know. But just so we went to the king and to your majesty, and I can go ahead and tell you that the next subject might be different. We went straight to Libertine and the Statue of Liberty. Do you know that under Washington and under the Articles of Confederation, that the Indians had rights? And they still don't want you to know that today. And even you white people, us white people, whatever, you know, we had to fight 240 years, Indians, to sovereign nations. Imagine how the states they've been a little bit longer. I mean, just strangled to death because of interpretations. So there's this guy, Calvin. And under that jurisdiction, Cromwell. So some more libertine, and we'll go a little bit more modern. We'll go ahead and get the libertine stuff out of the way. This will be a modern day stuff. I don't care about who they are or whatever. And I'm going to go ahead and say the left and the right's getting played. And to the Miss Fire Chief in LA, I want to just go out in public and tell you over here, look at that. To the fire chief in LA, you're probably being played. And what it is, they're going to have all the Dems, even to the Dems, to say it's a bad thing. And they'll even say that you need to be disqualified for this and this. There's more going on for that, girl. I want to go on record and say that. The fire of the trans, lesbian, whatever girl to be the fire chief, because I know the guys that get on the Brady list, they get promoted or whatever, so they're not on the call or whatever. So the fucking cops are fucked up too. But you're hiring anyway. You're not one of them. You're probably not one of them if you're a DE hire. Yeah, but for you, maybe they don't have too much bad on you. But if they do, you do. And if it's a thing, it's a thing. But probably it's not even on you. But do I lean right? Certainly I lean right. And I get tricked into that sometimes, but that's what's going on. But I have to erase stuff sometimes. And here's some more, let me just tell you, modern day libertine material. We can read from church fathers. We can read from Cyprian to Augustine to all of them using mushrooms and smoking weed and doing opium and doing everything. Just like your dad's done up until 100 or so years ago. They just had cocaine and coke. But we can read from all the church fathers in that. But we'll go, hey, the Pope, listen, the first bishop of Rome, bless by Paul. The first bishop of Rome was Linus, blessed by Paul, not Peter. So we'll go there and go there. I'm probably going to go the Jewish aspect next time. And I can tell you, and I'll just finish it off fast. How am I going to do that with this screen on recording? I can't do it. I'm going to have to do it in part 2 at the beginning. So your medicines, they stole your medicines. Wah, wah, Indian man. And let's go ahead and get it. I got a whole nother box, and I don't have it right here with me. But I saw an old brother out there talking about something, and I'm like, hey, man, I've been around a while, too. And if you know, you know. Listen, I got a few. This is Dr. York. For you black guys out there, they're going to go sovereign nation and talking about, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to you, too. I've done it about 90s. I say late 80s, mid 80s to 90s through, mid 80s. Dr. York, for you niggas, you know what I'm talking about, and I got a bunch of them. I learned a lot from you guys, too. This one's a good one, though. This is a good one. It's called The Mystery Clouds. There's Dr. York, you know. And the Muslim Brotherhood, but I'm going to tell you, the Farrakhan got too much, and you get into racism. Listen, you leftists, you get pulled left, too. It's that they play you the same way. They play you the same way. Listen, whether I'm gone or not, and history's gone, and that's okay, because it's been caricatured and caricatured and caricatured. Listen, the South will rise again. And it won't be under, hey, Pope, first Bishop of Rome, blessed by Paul, not Peter. His name was Linus, according to the Apostolic Constitutions. I will use your own documents. So you want to throw out this and this and this and this, and wait till I kick James' ass. I'm going to do that in just a second. Probably going to get that out of the way. Just go ahead and get this out of the way. So, anyway, that's why the whole front of Rome. I'll go with you too. I'll battle you too. But yeah, I just want to tell you this because York was very good. I learned a lot from mid 80s, and the only reason I got a few more, I got several more been there, but the reason I got this out lately is because I was going over a little study or some things that people have said that's in here about the cloud and the mystery, and even Moses, according to old things, there are like things, pillar of cloud by night and stuff. And but I got Jimmy out. You know, we'll go ahead and get this out of the way. Jimmy, good guy. I've seen him. I've seen him. One governor though, Jimmy Davis. You are my sunshine. I've slept with him, ate with him, made ice cream with him, sweat with him, sang with him. That's Jimmy Davis. About the same era or so, you know. And but yeah, Jimmy Davis is a good old boy, man. And that old Cat and Pussy song, pretty good. He's a good boy. But this guy right here, Jimmy Davis, he's I brought it out because Jimmy Davis is in the Dr. York book. So this is some more libertine documents. I'd say more libertine documents would be, this is some modern stuff. I know everybody's talking about the expeditions and the buildings that's built from time to time and how they work out and how they had these things years ago in the pictures, just a few hundred years ago, and how our time is hidden. Here's a modern day representation of some libertine documents. Some information about the earth not being quite the same. Along with this, like the times not being quite the same. We ain't quite figure it out. And our geography might not being quite the same. And then a few years before that, They had more libertine documents. This was libertine documents. Really didn't want to listen to anybody. We wanted to just do our own thing. And so there's several maps and things. But this was written. It was written. And maybe we'll finish off in a minute with just some like mid-century, stuff. This just tells some stories of lots of things. For you, Charles, Elizabeth wouldn't have put up with your madness. This playing the long game stuff. Listen, we're the last guys out. We're the last guys out. This is a Samuel Eliot Morison. Yeah. It's just several things of history of and the other one was The Great Explorers and different variations of the European discovery of America. Let me get back to you. And I like some of the older stuff. This is what they call the Chaldean oracles. There's some Thomas Taylor stuff. Got a few. And your basic, this right here is your basic Herodotus and Thucydides. That adds to that elder work with Thomas Taylor. My repertoire is medic. So I like the medic stuff. And I've got Discordies and other stuff. But that's an alternative work. And I did focus in a lot on this because Anna Karenina is an interesting character. Very interesting. It's the Crusade period from Alexa's youth to the last months of Baudin's reign. The Turks, the Franks, the Cumans, and the Manchurians, Manichaeans. But it's a great book. This is quotes. A little bit older book. It's the wisdom of Alexander the Great. But what I'm on now for the third time all the way through, the movie's great. This is the best book. This is the best book. This is beautiful. I'm about halfway through. It's good. I'll go back to the other. Because Unca, the hard, weather-beaten features of the scout began to work. And when she had ended, he dropped his chin to his hand like a man musing profoundly on the nature of the proposal. There is reason in her words, at length broke from his compassion and trembling lips. Ay, and they bear the spirit of Christianity. What might be brought and proper in a redskin may be sinful in a man who has not even a cross in blood to plead for his ignorance. Chingachgook Uncas, hear the talk of the dark-eyed woman, and listen to those that lean left of me. Here's the thing. I get drawn in. Let me go ahead and tell you fast. I wanted a tweet from the man in T from something, and what it was attached to had a bunch of rainbow stuff on it and stuff, and because they were equating a progression that's going on by an entity that's ruling our money, and they're equating it with a thing that is left of me. And but see, I don't want to. I'm not bashing on that variety of whatever that is. And I posted it, and I went back a few hours later and had to delete it because I found the tweet and I could get a picture of it without all that. Yeah, see, for that left of center lady, fire chief of L.A. is going to cut out fast. They're playing you, and even the D's will move to the right to press it on. And I'm telling you this, I will give you liberty. I'm not going to be on either one of those teams, and I'm going to be the one that stands up, and even though I'm right of you, way right of you, I'm American. I'm American, and I'm going to love you despite that. And I'm not going to get on that side that's going to beat you up for that, because don't get used and don't let them beat you up. And the D's need to, now, if standing up for a position of what you want to do or this and that, yeah, that agenda, but see, they're playing you. And they're playing you. I'm not. That has nothing to do with it because I know they're. I know they're playing you to play to the right. Listen, the bootlicker enforcers, they're going to enforce registration on you, just like they did your seatbelt, just like they did your mandatory insurance, just like they did you drinking and driving. So you popes and you kings, I respect you guys, but Elizabeth first, Charles. Maybe I do you a little bit before I do the T-Mote.